Hey everyone, welcome to week 10 of fantasy football. Thought I'd get back to some comments that are particularly about our league, not about the NFL. And this is what I noticed. This week should be an interesting week because we have 4 of the top 8 quarterbacks are all on bye. So I know like 2 of those are probably Andy's quarterbacks, but there's a lot of people this week that are showing up without their best guy. So I found that interesting. This is also what I found interesting. Of the top 8 quarterbacks, even top 10 quarterbacks, I believe, there's no Cam Newton, no Russell Wilson, and no Carson Palmer. It's just kind of a weird year. Like, I wouldn't say that this year overall is like a weird year where everything's upside down. It kind of feels like that with some injuries. Some players aren't performing like they would. Some have kind of come back and performed like they did it 2 years ago. So it's just a little bit of a weird mix. Where there's some things that are like, yeah, that makes sense. They should be up there. But then they're sitting right next to someone who shouldn't. For example, you look at the wide receiver position. Again, another one that has buys. 3 of the top 10 people are on buys this week. But in the top 10, we have Terrell Pryor and Michael Crabtree. Like, they don't belong in the top 10. Crabtree was like dead in San Francisco. He had a good year last year in Oakland. Terrell Pryor was a quarterback trying to make teams last year. He got cut by the Browns last year. Then we have T.Y. Hilton, and sure, I think like there's an argument for him being in the top 10, but not in there. There's wide receivers in there like Julio Jones, Antonio Brown. They should be in the top 10, and they are. But these other guys don't belong. Let's look at another position, running back. Those are the 3 main positions, the only ones we should really be focusing on. There's no crazy buys this week in the running backs, but in the top 10, do you know who 8, 9, and 10 are? Frank Gore, LeGarrette Blount, and Jay Ajayi. That's kind of crazy that those guys are in the top 10 because we weren't drafting them top 10 running back status. And what about Murray and McCoy? I'm talking about DeMarco Murray. Like, they sucked last year, both of them, and here they are performing like they should have been all along. It's just kind of a weird year, but kind of a normal year, which I think makes this year a weird year, which is what I'm communicating. Yeah, and as we get through like our league, you're going to see there's a lot of weird stuff happening in our league just right from the start. Let's get to the studs and duds. I almost missed who the stud should be. Like, I almost gave it to Drew Wagner, so you can have the runner-up because he's kind of got himself back into playoff contention. I mean, he's got a chance is all I'm saying. He's not in. He just has a chance. But I give the stud to Ben Black because he was 1-3 to start the year, and now he's 6-3. He's in second place. That is not like, I mean, you won last week, but that is more like you are a stud for how you performed in the last 6 weeks of our league. Okay, and I also give the dud. I almost gave it to myself. Actually, I had my name written in because I'm an embarrassment to the league this year. I just can't get anything right, and now it's just let's see who can we play and have fun with. But as I got to the very last game that I was predicting, I thought, no, I don't deserve the dud. Nick Reichel deserves the dud. Have you guys realized he's lost 4 games in a row? Like, at one point we were all like, oh, Nick's good again, here he is. And then he started losing a little bit, and we're all like, it's just a little. He's lost 4 in a row now. He went from 4-1 to 4-5. Like, Nick, what is that? So, for example, like, are we surprised that Andy's having a good year or Ben? Really, I think all of you are good, and you normally have good years, okay? But to see, like, Nick having a bad year in the midst of some of you having a good one, that's kind of weird. And yeah, so it kind of adds to the weird year. Let's get the predictions for this week. We have me versus John. Let's just go there right from the start. John, you're going to win. It's like a bye week, okay? All you guys got to do is show up, and you will beat me. And I used to say, what does it take for me to win or for you to lose? Now it's just, how many players do you need to beat me? The answer is 4. I think you only need 4 people this week, and you will beat me. Chris versus Ben Black. Ben Black, you've been rolling. The Ravens showed up. You made that trade to get Russell Wilson. Now it's time to see if he's got it. And I think he does enough. I think your Ravens D is crazy. You got 27 points for them. I don't think there's anything that Chris can do to match that. So, Ben, you win. Tyler versus Heiser. Tyler, the Browns are hurting you, and they hurt you once again. Your team's too unpredictable. You probably are up for the award of most underperforming team. You think about wide receivers. I mean, with you having Odell Beckham, me having Des Bryant and Brandon Marshall, and the three of them just kind of sucking most weeks, that's kind of crazy. So you're up for one of the most underperforming teams of the year. Heiser, looks like you might have Jimmy Graham back. That adds to these mediocre games you're having each week that are giving you some wins. So Heiser, you continue, you win. We have Aaron versus Andy. This brings back a conversation we had a while ago. Which one of these two teams are better? I think we all now would say that Andy's team is better. But Aaron, this is your chance to show up. So my question is, can you? There's only one way I see you winning this week, and that's if Andy Dalton can throw multiple touchdowns in a game, which seems to be hard for him. And I don't think he needs two. I think he needs 3 touchdowns to beat Andy this week. And the answer to that question, can you do it? I don't think you can. Andy wins. Drew versus Jim. Drew, you've been playing well, but you cannot afford a bye week, and unfortunately, that's what you are. I mean, I don't think Moncrief and Tate are like that great. They are pretty unpredictable in themselves, but on your bench, I can predict what they're going to get, and that is 0, and you can't have that from them. Jim, with the craziest starting running backs of any of us in the league, is not only going to win this, but I think he has a chance to make a good run this year. Crazy one, but a good run. So, Jim, you win. Keep going. And next, Nick versus Ben Baker. 2 teams going in opposite directions, which kind of adds to the weirdness of the year. Nick, you have no Murray. You have a hurt Big Ben, which it makes sense why your team's been struggling, because he's been struggling. As in, he hasn't been on the field, and then he played last week with like 20% of his ability. So, I'm not sure you can win. Now, if Ben Baker gets Martin back, I'm pretty sure that you can't win. But without him, I still think he has enough just between Aaron Rodgers and Stewart having good games and filling in the gaps elsewhere. So, Ben Baker wins. That's it for this week. Very long video. I just saw it 6 minutes. Apologize about that. But, hey, you don't have to suffer through the Browns game this week. Even if you're not a fan, it's horrible to watch. So I'll give you 2 extra minutes of something to do. All right, I will see you guys later.